and actually tells parents what subjects that the students covered. So if they have a 90% in reading, or if they have a 70% in reading, what did they go over this 9 weeks? Was it comprehension? Was it vocabulary? Was it phonemic? What was it exactly?
Right.
So it kind of gives a whole lot more information, and that, along with the textbooks that we've got this year for English, handwriting, and math, will go a long way, because as a parent, if you just get a worksheet and you're trying to help your child with homework, that doesn't tell you a whole lot.
Exactly.
That textbook is important for the parent to have as it is for the student. And so that's where we see a lot of value, and that's why we, despite budget cuts, it was on the list, and we wanted to make sure that we had that covered.
And you know what's so wonderful also is that all these students are somebody. They're not just another number. These teachers and these staffs take time with each individual to help them across the board.
Absolutely. We have students, on that normal curve. Some students are struggling. Some students are excelling. And our goal is to challenge each student to help them reach their highest level, whatever that level is. And we're not going to stop trying until they're out of here. So we're just going to keep challenging them. Once they master one, we're going to keep challenging them, because you really have to have that rigor, that skill base, and that work ethic to make it in today's world.
Especially if you got students with special needs,
Absolutely.
maybe slow learners or whatever. These teachers and staff take the time.
Absolutely. I think patience is an absolute minimum requirement, and I think so many of our teachers and principals have that, and I'm thankful for that. We are blessed with a tremendous staff, tremendous principals throughout the district, and I'm continually impressed with the high standards and the commitment to students.
Which brings me to my next question and thought here. It takes a full-time staff to make this accomplished. It takes teachers, principals, people behind the scenes. You've got maintenance crews. You've got lunch people, cooks, and everything. It takes a team to put all this together.
Oh my goodness! I mean, you're exactly on target. You can have all the skilled staff in the state, but if it's not coordinated and if they are not a team, you're not going to move ahead. And that is something that is core to what's going to propel us and our students into success in college career readiness. We are, in fact, we are in the midst of, or the final phases of completing a $10.5 million renovation remodeling project at North Laurel Middle. And you're looking at 14,000 square feet of renovated space, and the coordination and teamwork have just been wonderful. I can't say enough about how well our facilities folks at the board and how supportive our board members are of this whole process. It's just phenomenal, and it really is a team effort. And we will be ready for occupancy on August the 7th, and there's 8 instructional areas were added, a new exterior, new bus loop, new parent pickup drop-off loop. It's a new restroom bank was added, and it really looks like a new school. And so we're excited about that, and excited about being on schedule. And of course, we also have the College Career Readiness Center that's coming, and we have already begun taking soil samples at the site, and we're really excited to what that can bring to this community and to recruit local industry and business.
Well, speaking of that, speaking of which, how can businesses, the public in general, people, parents, how can they get behind these schools and support them and say, hey, we want to do our part to make these projects come to pass?
Well, I got to say, from what I've seen so far, they're already doing that.
Well,
I mean,
good.
we have just had a wonderful, London Laurel County is just a wonderful community. We have met with area business leaders, the Chamber of Commerce. So many people are so supportive and so involved in helping us and giving us feedback that's actually constructive and want to be helpful. And we have just a wide array of parent volunteers with a variety of skill sets that are so helpful to us. And it's just supporting the work that teacher does with their child on a daily basis, be it making sure homework gets completed, be it a discipline infraction, just supporting that teacher and supporting that school. And that is part of the team effort. You know, part of the education happens at home, and it should. But being a team with your teacher, your child's teacher, is essential to making it go. And we're very blessed to have so much of that here in Laurel County.
Wonderful. And speaking of changes, I heard there's going to be some changes in the lunch procedures. Yeah, healthier lunches.
Well, actually, those have been implemented already at the federal level. And now that's something that we really don't have a lot of selection on. And some of those choices have been productive and some have been problematic. Some of the food items are healthier, but students may not like the taste, which is understandable, and so that's a transition process that we are kind of working on a day-by-day basis. But some of it is positive, and some of it is, like I said, we still have some challenges to overcome there.
Well, you know, that's understandable. Well, let's talk about activities, sports. You know, all these kids so excited about being on, like, the North Laurel, South Laurel team. You know, they got to keep their grade levels up.
They do, and I will tell you, you know, before we in fact the board just passed a new grading scale, and I alluded to that earlier. But before, to get an A, you had to have a 92 to 100. Well, what was happening? That was eliminating a lot of our students from scholarships. But if a neighboring district, if a student had a 90, they could get an A. Well, they would get that all A requirement. They would meet that minimum requirement for the scholarship. So we